Hi, everybody. Welcome to my show, Dare to Dream. I'm your host, Graham Williamson, and we're on WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, radio, TV, and podcasts. We're the number one internet talk network, Going Bold Wednesday. Even though everybody's been busy and recovering from um, Valentine's Day, I love it. But as I said, I am the host for the show, Dare to Dream. I'm an international intuitive, evidential medium and psychic. And today's show, believe it or not, is about what is an evidential medium. Each time I do this talk about spiritual stuff, I never plan what I'm going to say. And that is the heart of who I am when I'm working with spirit. It's not consciously planned. That way, I rely on my intuition, my intuitiveness. And when I do readings for people, one-to-one or in groups, I can do any or all, even text, phone, face on. It doesn't matter. Even a letter, even just a picture, whatever. You see, I've been doing this all my life as a medium, and especially in the last 20 odd years. Since I've been in America, I've been free to do what I've always wanted to do. I've gone to very, how can I put it, varied churches in America. I now live in Florida from England. Because I've always wanted to believe about something, about the God or positive energy. What's that got to do with being an evidential medium? Well, for me, it's very important because my role as a medium is to give the highest and best to each and every recipient. I never give a negative. You may disagree with what I tell you in my reading with you, the recipient, but I won't give you something that says, oh, you've got an illness, you're going to die from it, or you've got a broken leg, or you got whatever. I don't give it. It's not my job to do that. My job is to make you happy. And to make you happy as a medium, I have learned to listen to my body, listen to my ears, my nose, what I say afterwards. I can feel things. My body has been through so much. I'm 68, nearly 69, and my dog's just started to bark. But I've learned to listen to what my body feels, hears, sees, tastes, and everything. And when I say I see spirit, it's all encompassing all my senses. And because I always prepare prior to giving readings and the show, I ask for guidance of positivity, upliftment, love, empathy, respect, courtesy. All these things are important to me, and a few other things. But it's all positive. My mind is already relaxed. I have not pre-thought what I'm going to say to you tonight in my show, because I can't. If I plan everything, write it down, I'm a prolific writer. If I write things down, I can't be looking down reading this. I just can't do that. It's my daughter just coming in. So you see, to plan something doesn't work for me. So as I say, having learnt about my body and how it feels, when I sit opposite somebody, I always hold one hand out, and I hold one hand of the recipient. And all I ask them for is their name. Evidence Spirit want me to do a bit more talking now. Explain. And in doing so, the energy level is passed between the recipient and myself. And Spirit are working through my head all the way down to the floor. But they use my body and my throat, and my voice, to say what I'm picking up subconsciously. So as soon as I hold somebody's hand, it's amazing. I don't even have to touch the person's hand. For example, one of the best ones I ever did was in a church just about 8 miles south of me. And I was giving a reading to a recipient in this church on the left-hand side. And I was into it, but every now and again I'm looking around, and I kept on noticing these three women in the front of the row. And the middle one was the older lady. And every time I saw her, my mouth would go like I was slobbering. And I wasn't, but I felt like I was slobbering. And I was thinking, something wrong with my teeth. That's what I was thinking. Well, I went to the gentleman I was reading on my left. I said, excuse me, sir, somebody's coming through and they ain't going to wait. I'll be right back. And it's an example of what I'm doing, evidential mediumship. Anyway, no problem. So I went to this lady in the middle of the three. And I said, your mother had the lousiest fitting teeth I've ever encountered. Yes or no? How did you know? I said, okay. She used to take them out when she wanted to eat or drink or talk. But when she's out and about, she put her teeth in. And they were the worst fitting teeth you've ever seen, she said, the mother, to her daughter who I'm talking to, the older lady. I put them in and I could smile. I got teeth to smile. Nobody wants to see a toothless old hag. This is the mother telling me all this lot, and I'm conveying it to this lady. And this lady did not believe in life after death. Everybody's going, what's that? What's that? I said, you actually have your mother's teeth in your bag. Statement. It's not a question, it's a statement. Can you take them out? They're in a little bag, aren't they? And this daughter to the lady I'm communicating for got out this bag and then put them back in. And she said, there's the teeth in here, and put them back in the bag. She said, how did you know? I said, because your mother told me. Now do you believe she was with you when you saw those teeth? And she made you, by remembering in your head, bring my teeth. All you remembered is, Mum always had a thing about her teeth. So she picked the teeth up. She didn't realise her mother was reminding her memory, activating that memory of the teeth. It's just, I'll take them anyway. Because nobody can go. Nobody can go. But what I said from the mother to the daughter floored her and proved life after death. That is evidential mediumship. Then I went back to the other gentleman, finished it, and he said, up until then, I was skeptical. Hearing what you said just then, did just there, I am now convinced. And what I gave him was evidential to somebody he had lost. You see, evidential mediumship is about the spirit that's passed, relatable information to the recipient, understandable clarity. It could be personality. It could be mannerisms. It could be the way they talk. You know, always having a walking stick or had a funny leg or an injured foot or something. And the evidential medium, if they listen to their bodies and their guts and their guides, can say, well, Graham personally injured his foot by a garden fork many years ago when he was at school. So I can remember the pain in my left foot because of the fork, garden fork went into it. Or my neck injury I've had, and other operations I've had. When something is active, tripping those injuries I've had and memories of those injuries, it's because spirit are activating my memories. And I listen, oh, hang on, they're talking about a foot, or they're talking about my neck. Or so somebody with a neck injury or hand injury or whatever operation. You see, all mediums in some form or another have this medical understanding from spirit. We are not doctors. We're not, unless you're certified. I am not. I am a medical intuitive, but I'm not certified. I only give the recipient positivity. I don't diagnose. I don't cure. That's up to God. You see, evidential means I have to prove to you, the recipient, enough for you to say, I know exactly who you mean. If they're in doubt, I give them more information. You see, we as mediums choose whether to be mediums. and the go-between, the medium between spirit and a recipient. We choose to. It's not about financial gain. It's about proving life after death of the physical body. I've been doing this for so long. It's instinctive. I don't know when I switch off and when I switch on because I'm on all the time, working with spirit. I ask for privacy at night time. And I always say to spirit, I'm going to bed or I'm relaxing with my wife and we're just switching off to spirit unless it's life or death. Because I need my privacy. I need my space. As a medium, I don't want to be always working when I don't need to. Spirit guide me. Don't give me a choice. You see, the medium always has a choice. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is being the psychic. A psychic doesn't necessarily get evidential messages. But if they do, it's because they're a medium and they're not aware of it. Because it's only spirit that can give you that information. A medium picks up the energy from the one who's passed over and interprets it their way to convey to the recipient. And it takes years of practice to do it politely, respectfully. I had a good friend that passed away on the 1st of January this year. And before that, we used to talk a lot. We were good friends. And he always said, I'm going to be at my funeral. One day when I die, I'm going to be at my funeral. And we used to laugh. He was a Catholic guy. I tell a lie, he was a Jewish gentleman. Sorry, I always get a back from. But his sister took a video of the ceremony, of the cemetery. And a gentleman, nothing to do with the family at all. He was in fact part of the cemetery staff. Came to talk to family members in front of the camera. And the side view, just for 1 second, was a spitting image of my friend who passed. And I played the video back and froze it at that one moment. Sent this picture to his sister, because it was still. I said, your brother made it to his own name for a funeral. I said, what? I said, look at the picture. Oh my God. He said that he was going to. And there this gentleman had nothing to do with the family, but he looked so similar. And the mannerism, the posture, even the beard, that's evidential. Proven. You can't always say, oh, that was just hopeful, wishful thinking. But if it triggers a memory inside your head and it's relatable to you to pass to somebody else, then that is evidence if it can be proven by the recipient. I had a picture from a video. I froze it, sent it to the sister. I said, who does that look like? I didn't say the first bit, with all that I've told you. I just said, who does this look? Oh my God, that's from that video you sent me. And up until then, she didn't know spirit could come back. You know something. It's not believing, it's knowing. And that's the difference. If you believe in something, there's a possibility that you might not always believe. But when you know something, it's beyond doubt. My job as an evidential medium is to prove beyond doubt. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm human. I'm a spirit having a human experience. But what I convey to my clients, my recipients, is enough to verify what I've told them. I've even drawn patterns on a piece of paper for one gentleman, or numbers for a little girl. She loved numbers, maths. And she passed, she said, just give this to my mother. And I wrote these numbers out. And I said, these are numbers, the words. These are numbers. I just randomly put them. It was a telephone number. I didn't know. I got the area code wrong, but the rest of it was her number. You see, I don't question. I know that spirit know more than I do. And that's why I do these shows. Because it's very important for you, the recipient, to understand the spirit is having a human experience. So when the human body finishes working, it's deceased, the spirit can then go back up into whatever plane of existence it is and keep on growing and learning and being with the loved ones. You're never alone when you've got a loved one in heaven. And you see, why do you have to wait to go to heaven? Heaven on earth is more important. It's how you feel, how you live your life. And by every day you bump into people, there's evidence around you of a positive life or not. And if you know the difference, you've got a choice. So if you want to become a medium, you have to raise your vibration, raise your energy, be positive. And I'm not on about, oh, look at me, I can see the fairies. No, it's none of that. And I did grow up as a child talking to fairies at the bottom of the garden. Yeah, I'm as cooking as that. But I know you can't change that. I know what I did as a child. Other people, they didn't. I don't care. I know what I did. I know what I experienced. And it only happened to me, for me. That's how I've been able to learn about spirit. Because I was open to seeing fairies at the bottom of the garden. I used to play in the stream at my grandmother's back garden. And behind that was an orchard. And every now and again, I felt very uncomfortable. And I used to say to my grandmother, there's something in that orchard down there. And I think it was a lady who wasn't really liked, but she wasn't nasty. It's just, she's lost. I was about 6, 7. And my grandmother said, yeah, she was called a witch. She's been there for a very long time. We talked to her, and you've actually been talking to her. That's how you know who she is. You know it's a female. You know she's unhappy. That was evidential to me. My grandmother confirmed it. She knew the story, and she told me the story, and it clicked to what I've been telling her. You see, you've got to open your heart and your mind. You can't think about it. The moment you start thinking what you're going to say, you're analysing it. Your ego is saying, how can it work for me? How can it work for you? The thinking. Spirit had nothing to do with that. You have to trust your heart, your guts, the psychic ability in your guts and your heart, spirit are working through you to say, here's the highest and best. Do you choose to be nice or do you choose to be negative? You can't blame anybody, but let me make a very important point here. A medium and a psychic are answerable for their words and actions in a court of law. If somebody wants to be really antagonistic to the medium or psychic, and so they actually say something to the recipient that they don't like, you're answerable to it. I was asked, do I get many people coming back? The answer is very rarely. And I'm glad about that because I feel if a client, recipient comes back too often, I'm failing at my job. Or they're failing to listen to what's been passed on to them. I'm not here as your personal medium. I'm willing to teach you about life after death and become a medium or a psychic, tarot cards, palmistry, whatever you want to learn, I will do my best to help you. Because I've experienced a lot. Tea leaves, palmistry, pendulum, Ouija board, and all that. And before anybody says about the Ouija board was invented by 2 brothers who were criminally insane. But the intention of the board was to help communicate with spirit on a positive manner. But because they were criminally insane, it got bad reviews when it was first invented. Check it out. But any object, if you've got good intention, will create and respond positively. One of my best favorite examples is the cross of Christ. How many knew it was used as a torture rack? before Christ got on that cross. Check it out. The swastika used to be a positive sign, but it was perverted by others. So people, when they see the swastika, it's all negative. When you see the cross, it's all positive. It became positive and negative by other people's attitude of those items. That is evidential. The power of the cross is because of millions of people believe in the power of good. Not necessarily Jesus Christ, but the power of good, power of God. In whatever belief you have. And I respect all beliefs, even the negative ones, because you can't have one without the other. Life's about up and down, the balance of yes and no, yin and yang, light and dark. There has to be. We are magnets. We have a North Pole and a South Pole because of the way our bodies are formed. Our energy emanates from our bodies. That is evidential by science. And as mediums, we are here to help prove the continuity of life after the change called death. When you are alone after somebody's passed, and you can't stop thinking about the one that's passed, let me give you a little bit of a hint. Who do you think's activating all those memories, feelings? You in part, a small part, but the loved one is also activating all those memories, all those feelings in your heart. They said, can you remember when we used to do this? Can you remember when we did that? The other, whatever it was. And can you remember we used to sing? You see, everybody stops thinking of the loved one who's passed as still alive in the spirit world, unless you are of a spiritualist nature. But the spirit is actually trying to say, I'm still with you, but I want you to remember the good things, not the fact my body has stopped working. I, as spirit, evolve. I, as spirit, am with you. That's how mediums can prove evidential facts. I say about the teeth in the bag. How did that lady was sitting at the front? I've never met her before. One of the other episodes I had was in Doris Stokes in England was holding a concert about mediumship. And I was with a group of people from a spiritualist church in south of England. Went to this event place and we were queuing up and this Daimler pulled up. And as this lady went past, I said, you hypocrite. You've got all that stuff in your car and you say it's all for the people? The show was cancelled. What I told her was too personal. The show was cancelled. But when it came back again, I was pulled up on the stage and told, this young man, I was only 18, 19 at the time, he actually reminded me why I'm here. Would you do a little demonstration, do some readings for me? I was just a novice. And yet I pulled a couple of people up. And at the end, she did so. And everyone, how did you know that? I said, well, I saw the car and I saw a very rich Zaza Kabul with furs. How she's dressed with all the opulence. And I said, you've got that in your car, in the trunk of your car. Well, in England, we call it the boot. In the boot of your car. I had evidence. I didn't know. You're not supposed to just give somebody information. You have to ask them if they want information. As I said, I was a novice. But this lady was a renowned medium, and I respected her deeply, even more after this incident. So that is what I perceive as evidential. And you have to trust yourself. It's not what other people tell you. When somebody sits with me, I tell them yes, no, and your name. That's all I want. I have to earn what truth comes through and convey to the recipient. It's work, and it's an honourable one. For me, anyway. And countless people I've met over the years. There's some excellent mediums who are very, very good evidential ones. It's places in Casadega and all the rest of it. But We're going to go for a break shortly, but this is Going Solo Media. All right, I'll do CC's way. This is your host of Dare to Dream, Graham Williamson. I'm an international intuitive, evidential medium and psychic. And I hope you come back to us in a few minutes because we're going to have a little break. But before we go, if you want to email me, email a medium77, all one word, a medium77@gmail.com, or phone me on 352-409-1060. Leave a voice message, and I do live in Florida, USA. And I will get back to you as soon as I can. Now we're just going to go for a break. See you in a minute. I think we're back on again. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you. Now, I was talking about evidential mediumship. But my show is more than just that. If you want to come on my show and make a comment or ask a specific question, I don't read futures by choice. I can do, but I don't like to. If you've got a question, I may be able to answer it because I'm human. I want to help a lot of people. I've got a very, very dear friend who lost her mother recently. And I loved her mother and I loved her daughter. And I really respect our husband, my friend's daughter's husband. And ever since I've met them, they're like my brothers and sisters, my own kids. I know she's a little bit bigger now, but I'm always asked, did my mum come round? And I know for a fact my mum's around all the time. She was a very gifted medium, very gifted. She could draw images of those who passed. I've got a picture of my grandfather up on the wall here. One of the last gifts my friend gave me before she passed. That picture is a perfect replica of my grandfather who passed way, 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 way back in my childhood. I think I was about 7 when he passed, 8, something like that. So there's no way my friend could ever know my grandfather. And an incident my grandfather did prove to me about life after death is when we used to go to the movie theatre as children watching cartoons. I may have told you this before, but I think it's relevant. And halfway through the show, the cartoons, I saw his face fill the whole screen. And he warned us to get out. I had my siblings with me, my 3 sisters and my brother, who was younger. My 3 sisters older. My brother was younger. I said, Granddad's just been told us to get out. No hesitation, we all got up, left. And our friend said, what? Just seen my granddad. Oh, yeah, were you? I said, no, told us to get out. Those that knew me agreed and left. 2 years later, the place burnt down. Coincidental? I think not. In fact, I know not. My grandfather told us to stay away. You see, my friend's mother knew my grandfather's face He was around me. She picked up that energy. She drew the picture, and that picture she drew by hand matched perfectly an actual picture of my grandfather. I put the image over, one drawn over the photograph. I shrunk it down, put it over the top. Perfect. The only slight difference was a parting in the hair. He never had one. But the hair, the shape, everything, posture of the head, collar, everything matched. How did she do that? That's evidence. It fascinates me every time evidential mediumship is verified. You see, it takes guts to open your mouth to say something that you know nothing about, literally. But you've got trust with your guides, your spirit guides that work with you and through you. And by practice and trust, empathy, love, respect, courtesy, they will always give you positive vibes when asked for. You see, you have to respect yourself, know who you are as a physical person, your spirit in a physical body. You've got the psychic ability, you've got the mediumship ability if your energy is elevated. But you've got to know yourself in order to convey what it is you're picking up. And you've got to know your aches and pains. Be honest about it. Your stomach disorder, like I'm borderline Crohn's. I have a very high metabolic rate. See, I can't say the right words. A very high metabolic rate. And I'm allergic to vinegar. I love pickled onions. One of my sisters, she makes the best pickled onions, gherkins, you name it. It's brilliant. And I miss eating them. But because one of my stepdaughters found out about the diet, she has stomach issues, she told me about this diet, and I went on it, cut out all vinegars. My borderline Crohn's irritable bowel stopped. I'm able to eat food again. I even went on a diet with dairy for a while because I became allergic to dairy. My body told me. And because I listened to what I was instructed to know, it became evident I was eating the wrong things. You see, I trust those I love. I trust myself. I trust my grandfather. I trust my grandmother. I trust my mum and my dad. We've both passed. And my stepfather. All passed. I trust them. I trust them now. They come through. And those memories I've got up here when I'm talking to people, those aches and pains and all the rest of it, I trust what I'm feeling. And I say what I'm feeling to you, the recipient. Whatever that's triggered. Even, oh, that's a funny smell. Oh, no, did you have such and such? I don't like that. You know, you've got to know yourself. You have to truly know yourself. And know the difference when you're working with spirit, when you encounter somebody else's energy, to convey what it is you're picking up as a medium. But the recipient has to be honest as well. And you as a medium have to realize whether they are or not. If they keep going, no, 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 no. I love people that say no. Because it makes me work harder to prove life after death. I have to be evidential. And I think in this show, you can learn a lot more. But you can come in, you can chat, or you can email me, or you can phone me. I live in Central Florida. I'm retired, but I'm busy. So if you want to get hold of me, email me at amedium77@gmail.com. Send me a text. Or phone me on 352-409-1060. Leave a voice message, because if you don't, I think it's a scam. I don't even reply. I am willing to help you, any of you, group, single, whatever. I can do it on Facebook, I can do Messenger, Send me a letter. Contact me. Give me an address. I will write back to you. I don't read futures, as I say, because I choose not to. I've had too many things happen in the future and telling people, oh, but I think, because they refuse to change themselves. And I'm not responsible for your future. You are. I'm responsible for my future. If I've resolved my past, learnt from it, not carried on my shoulders, learn from all those people I've encountered, especially my friends who I know are excellent mediums who've passed. My grandmother, my grandfather, my mum. Brilliant mediums, in my opinion. I knew them. My mother never did mediumship when she had 5 children. She quit. But she guided me and my 3 sisters, my younger brother, the basics. My grandmother did as well. My grandfather did. They showed us the basics and let us work it out ourselves. Because each of us are a facet of this divine energy. For good or for bad, that's your choice. But to be an evidential medium, you have to know what it is that's coming from you for a recipient. You can't say, oh, your loved one passed with a heart attack, your heart or the heart stopped. Well, that's not really difficult. Every single person dies when the heart stops at some stage. But proving something about what they were doing before, and even the recipient before they actually came and sat down in front of the medium, telling them, well, what about the watch or the necklace? And you've got odd coloured socks or shoes. You come out with stuff, I tell you, I am still amazed at some of the things I come out with, and it's verified. I tell my wife, did you hear what I said, and it was proven? I said, it amazes me. I get such a thrill getting it right for the recipient. I've earned their trust. I respect myself and I will not lie to anybody. If I don't know, I say, sorry, I don't know. But what I feel, what I'm being told is this. You say yes or no. I can't answer that. Because life is too short to lie to yourself, because that's what you would be doing if you're thinking what you're going to say to somebody. And I'm not going to waste my life telling somebody a lie. I'd rather just shut my mouth and say, sorry, I can't read anymore. And that's another thing. When most people come to me for sessions, it's normally 15 minutes long. And I've got a clock and I look at it at the start of the time. But I don't look at it after that. But I can guarantee I can stop within a minute of that time, giving the person their reading. And one guy didn't believe I could do it. And I did. And he got a timer on it. I was like 0.2 seconds short of the 15. And I'm looking at the clock. I had my eyes shut. I said, that's it, I'm done. You've got 2 seconds left. How did you do that? I said, they tell me, I'm done. I say it, I'm done. I used to prolong it after that and say, blah, 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 talk about the reading. But I've learned, no, the reading is done, that's it. Are you happy? Okay, if not, I'm sorry, I've done my best. Want another session? Let me know. But you see, evidential mediumship is proving to a recipient that their loved ones are still with them. Not necessarily how they pass. That in part is evidential as well. But I like to show that they're still with the person after the past. And it's quite easy to do because I listen to myself. All those memories I've got. 68 years of memory of my life, I can help pin it for somebody else. because Spirit use it. I've done so many different jobs. It's unbelievable what I've done. In fact, I'm still going, why did I do that? Blimey. Did I survive that? Whew. Life is so invigorating. And being a medium, an evidential medium, is a blast. I enjoy making somebody happy. And seeing them happy makes me happy. Makes me feel worthy of living on this earth. There's too much negativity around. So I love giving positivity. So I know we'll be finishing shortly. We've got 4 minutes. But I want to thank you for coming to the show, listening. I would like you to like, comment, share, subscribe. Come to Going Solo Media, because it is a fantastic group of people. We're over 3 million people now. I think I'm the only medium around that does it this way. I know I'm pretty unique. There's only one of me, thankfully. But goingsolomedia.com. Go to the link, open it, look for all the countless hosts we've got, pick out the recording you want, look for my face, you can't miss it. And I would love for you to come back and make comments. And I'll be back again in 2 weeks' time, and that should be around about the 1st of March on my record. And it starts at 6 o'clock. Look at that. I got it right this time, Cece. It starts at 6 o'clock EST. And I'm going to do a little bit more talk about mediumship. I never know what show is going to be titled, or what the title is going to be. I don't, because Spirit guide me. But evidential mediumship is a way of life for me. And making you smile is what makes me happy. So please come and join us, and join WGSN-DB Going Solo Network and Radio, TV and Podcasts. We're the #1 show, talk show. Going bold on Wednesday. Oh, there's all the information. We do live WGSN-DB Facebook and YouTube for more shows. We're on Roku and Amazon. Hey, come on. Everybody's got Amazon and Roku. So you can just click onto us and watch all our previous shows and join us for the next one. Because it'll be a pleasure to see you. And you can come and chat with us at the same time. I'm sure Cece would love to pass on messages for you. But I'm your host of Dare to Dream, Graham Williamson, international intuitive evidential medium and psychic. It's been a pleasure being here tonight. And thank you for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful week and a wonderful life. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.